Good morning, everybody. Mike Broswood with Broswood Works. Thank you for joining me back on my channel. I appreciate it. Today I have a bit of a lull in my production schedule, so it's time to process the rest of this walnut before it starts to crack on me. So I want to get it set up so that I can either turn it into bowls or into vases or something like that. I got something in mind for almost all the pieces. I ordered myself a 5-gallon jug of pentacryl, so I'm prepared. So let's get started. So the first thing I did this morning is I got up and I made myself a new sawbuck, something that's lower and easier to get to. My other one is too high, which is good for some things, but just not for processing bowl blanks. I also made myself just a big block that I can put my bowl blanks on and then knock off the corners. Okay, so the first thing I'm doing today is put on my safety garb. I've got my chaps and I've got my protective hard hat. I recently got a message on my MS400 review from a guy who said he used the word safety Nazi because he thought the chaps were way over the top. I commented him as a son of a person who lived under Nazi occupation for 4 years. That it's bad word usage, but he came back with okay, safety Nazi. So some people just are contrary, and I'll leave it at that. Any rate, so I've got my MS400. I'm going to make sure my chain's all good and tight and fueled up, and then I'm going to start parting out these logs into sections that I want to work with. Some of these 12-inch logs, I'm going to section those into sizes to be used for vases. The larger stuff down below I'm going to use absolutely for bowls, lots and lots of bowls. And I've got some specialty pieces, like I have a crotch piece that had a part that broke out and came out, and I think that's going to lend itself to some nice epoxy turning as well. So I'm going to save that for that. All right, so let's get started, and I'm going to get my saw checked out. I will say, on the subject of the chaps, if you've ever seen a picture of a chainsaw wound, it is absolutely horrific, and you know, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, even a guy who calls me a safety Nazi. All right, let's get cutting. I'm actually going to part some of these down smaller with my MS250. Okay, so I have now cut most of the small limbs up to where I want them to be. I'm going to work on the big stuff now, and I'm going to part out for lots of bowls. And got the MS400 ready to go, so let's get cutting. Alright, so I'm ready to start cutting bowl blanks. I've got the small ones that I'm going to turn into bowl blanks. They're going to be super easy. Just cut out the pith and that's it. I'll stack them aside, and I don't need to take anything off on the outside. I'll do that on the lathe. And I'm going to cut these with the MS250. to move one of the big ones up on here, and I am not going to try to muscle it. I'm going to use my tractor. All right, this is a weird piece. You got the pith way over here. So, I'm not sure what would be the best way to do this. Let's see. 17. Do it this way. Whoa, that's 25. I tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock this piece off right here and knock off the pith. And then I'm going to make like 3 deep, 1 shallower bowl and 2 real deep bowls. That's what I'm going to do, and let's do it. And just to show you what this is for, it'll make it easier to process the bowl blanks itself, draw my circle, and then knock my corners off, and nothing's in my way. So let me finish. Well, let's see. Now that's cut. I just got to get that last one up there. All right, so like I've said before, this is the pith. All of this and all of this is quarter sawn wood. I keep this. This is all beautiful stuff. I dry it and I'll use it for segmented turning and so forth. It's worth keeping. I might be able to turn a small plate out of this. All right, I'm gonna go get another log with my tractor. All right, here's another one of those goofy ones where the pith is way off center. So I'm going to cut it here and here. And let's see. Oh, I'm going to go with 7-inch bowl on this one. And then a 6-inch bowl will just knock the end off there. I think that'll be good. And this gives me another big bowl on this side. right, I think this is the last of the crazy pith ones. So I'm going to do this one here and here. Oh, maybe a little closer, right here. And again, oh, you know what? I'm going to do an 8-inch deep bowl right here, and then I'm going to leave the rest. There's one bowl blank. Here's my pith cut out. And here's my big old 8-inch bowl blank. And let's see. Another smaller one here. I'll get something out of this. All right, I gotta cut up some more logs to process more bolt blanks. Let me do that. Today I'm going to continue on with my production bowl preparations. I've got all my bowl blanks that I just recently cut, and then I'll take them into the shop and rough turn the outside in preparation for coring them. So let's get on with rounding them off. So the way I do this is I find my center. And I got my circle jig that I made up. And I draw out my circle. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to turn these today, and I need to keep them moist until I turn them. So I'm going to wet them down again and then cover them up. Hopefully I can get on this tomorrow. And if I can't, I got to come out here every day and wet them down.